And we're just going to go with a roll call and introductions. It's Angelo, Deputy City Recorder, Councilors Lewis, Usselman, myself, the Mayor, Ms. Neagle, Mr. Quigley, Councilor Quigley.
Glidewell.
Ms. Glidewell is not here this evening. You want to share that now or when?
Yeah, sure.
We have an email from her.
Yes, Councilor Glidewell emailed. She is out of the country right now. She did ask me that I read into the record an email from her. She said, I would like it read into the record that I totally disagree with this meeting being held based on the attorney's availability instead of council's availability. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you on that, I guess. Declarations of ex parte contact, conflicts of interest, bias, etc. Anyone? None? Okay. This special meeting will be conducted in open session for the purpose of receiving and discussing the report requested by the mayor and council concerning conditions in City Hall. No testimony or public input will occur at this meeting. Discussion will be limited to the mayor, council, and those addressed by them. So, as of right now, the inquiry report and attachments are acknowledged as received by the mayor and city council and declared a public record.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I'm David Roten, the city attorney for the city of Stayton, and I think that there was an inquiry as to we've got Aiken Blitz here, your employment lawyer, and myself, but there was an inquiry as to why not the author of the report would not be present, and we responded to that inquirer. If Alyssa would read that statement, that would be appreciated.
Absolutely. Last night at our council meeting, Reese Bordeaux was there, and I emailed her a response to her question of why Leonie wouldn't be here. So this is the email. Reese, thank you for your interest, concerns, and questions last night. Ms. Reeves has told us that she was appointed to conduct a neutral and objective investigation and to submit a detailed report of facts, findings, conclusions, and recommendations. Ms. Reeves states that her 55-page report, including the accompanying exhibits and the volume of resource documents, is comprehensive and speaks for itself. No purpose would be served by her presence. The mayor and council have been afforded the opportunity to review the report. The mayor had the opportunity to request Ms. Reeves' presence. Questions and discussion among the mayor and city councilors will concern options and next steps. The discussion and council deliberation will be assisted, if at all, by the city attorney and the city's employment council. No one foresees that questions will relate to the content of the report itself. Therefore, the city has not requested that Ms. Reeves attend in person. I hope that this response addresses your concerns fully. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
members of the council, let me kind of background a little bit as to where we are so that we'll have a complete picture as to what's going on. At least the mayor and I have been around the council and the city for a long, long time, and there have been interruptions, there have been strife, there have been problems administratively, either at the city hall level or at the council level over the years. Some very disruptive, some really amusing when the city administrator locked the mayor out of his office. Things like that have been going on here for quite a while. And yet the city itself survives and does good for the citizens of the city. Here we have a situation where there has been a strife apparently that has been going on for some time. As we read the report, in fact, it perhaps has been going on for even a period extending beyond the employment of Keith Campbell, the city administrator. In my judgment, the report, and having accepted the report and the attachments, it now becomes a matter of public record as such, and available to whomever wishes to review it. But there is an option here as to whether or not you have studied the report and wish to affirm what the report in effect conveys, and that is that there may or may not have been hostility in the administration or the employment of the city. The question is, how did that evolve and where is it today? I think the report is very clear and explicit in that respect. We're here to answer detailed questions if the members of the council or the mayor wish to ask detailed questions. But in my judgment, having gotten the report, having gotten the thoroughness of the attachments, this council can conclude that the city administrator has acted in a way appropriate for the management of the city, and affirm the city administrator's authority to go forward and act. The city administrator is the first, at least in my experience, and I've only been here since 1989, is the first fully trained professional city administrator that has handled the affairs of the city. I think the report, with the input of the employees of the city, show that the city administrator strives to do a professional job, sometimes stepping on a lot of toes, sometimes finding buried bodies and getting light on all of those shadows in the corner. That's what a city administrator does, but maybe this one is now in a professional way approaching the management of the city as a professional would. The second option, the first being simply affirming the authority of the city administrator as set forth in the charter and the city code, would be to go into detail as far as the report is concerned, ask questions of Aiken and myself, or comment, if you will, and establish a dialogue between yourselves as to your attitudes about it and about the report. I do not believe that this should be a public flogging. I think that the report speaks for itself as to what it is, and I don't believe that. I think it should remove all whispers, all accusations, all legitimate or not so legitimate charges and comments about where we are. A public flogging is inappropriate in my judgment. If the council wishes to go into executive session, the council can do that. The cover letter to the report, Aiken's cover letter to the report, points out the options available. Ms. Schaefer, that one of the principals of the report, has requested a public or an executive session, but that does not necessarily mean that the council would abide that necessarily. The council, in my judgment, should be transparent and open in its dialogue if it wishes to have a dialogue on the subject. We are here, Aiken and I, to answer any questions. The video and the recorder are going. This is a public meeting at this stage of the game, so anybody can watch it and look at it and ask questions about it. Do you have any questions at this stage of the game?
Okay. Folks? Anything? If no one has any questions, David, then really our only task here is to affirm the authority of the city administrator to manage the city affairs.
Affirm it as you will. Ba-
Okay.
Based upon the report with the authority for the city administrator to manage the affairs of the city.
Okay? Okay. If that's the question for this afternoon, if you folks are ready, I would like to have all of you affirm that last statement, please, that we affirm the authority of the city administrator to manage the affairs of the city. And if we can do that, Alyssa, if there are questions, we can take those now. Otherwise, I'd like Alyssa to poll the council.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Counselor.
I don't have an argument for that per se because of the way the charter is set up and the way the code is established. I guess my question would be the content of the report supplied to us. Is there a need for us as a body to further discuss that from a standpoint of a personnel matter?
Probably not at this time. I don't think we're at that stage yet.
Can I respond to
Yes,
anticipating what perhaps is in the counselor's mind? Because at an earlier time, the counselor, in his wisdom, set forth, why doesn't the city of Stayton have an HR person is that where you were headed, counselor? And I agree. I thought about whether that would be appropriate in the overall remarks today. I agree with the mayor. I think that that's a subject that can later be followed up, but I certainly think it's a serious thing to be addressed as far as the makeup in the organization of the city.
Okay.
Thank
Brian,
you.
did that help?
Yep, thank
Okay.
you.
Anything else? Would you poll the council, please?
Yes. Counselor Lewis?
I affirm.
Counselor Usselman?
Yes.
Counselor Neagle?
Yes.
Counselor Quigley?
Yes.
Okay. That's our business this evening.
That's it. You may adjourn if you wish.
Okay. All right. Meeting is adjourned.